than 100 jobs have already been provided at the multi-million-dollar Cove Resort development. This is a welcome development for that community, which has had its share of financial struggles of late. Opal Roach has more.
I went to Nassau look for work. Things are slow.
That's the cry of many family islanders who can't find work at home. Noting that this is a huge problem, the country's leader says it has to be fixed.
The great challenge for an island nation, people leaving the islands and coming to the urban centers for jobs. And that, in a recession that we're coming out of, that's even a more profound experience.
And government believes a step in fixing that problem is through its anchor projects. Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, says that's why the Investments Ministry is so crucial.
We are in a very aggressive mode. You can expect, therefore, action from us, all calculated to cause employment and to bring about people getting jobs more quickly than they could have reasonably expected. And we're really pushing hard on that.
Eleuthera native David Darville has confidence in government's anchor program, saying the $30 million Cove investment in Gregory Town has allowed him to return home.
I came here, I walked in, asked for a job and got one. But at the end of the day, like I say, there'll be a lot of people employed here. A lot of people could come home and get work and be at home working.
And David is just one of the Bahamians employed at the upscale beachfront property. When completed, there will be 50 luxury rooms and 33 lavish homes up for grabs. Developer Sidney Torres is happy with staff, saying Bahamians are skilled. He said every piece of furniture at the high-end getaway has a local touch.
Instead of buying furniture, I got together with a very skilled carpenter out of Hatchet Bay, and we custom designed all the headboards, the end tables, all the dressers, and it's absolutely beautiful. But these are guys who were just hanging sheetrock in a bathroom. They didn't have a lot of work before, so now every morning they wake up, they have a nice job to come to, and they know it's going to be over a period of time, and I work with them to train them on the way that I do things, so they pick up and learn from that, to where the other day I had one of them tell me, oh wow, I can put a cottage like this on my property and rent it out.
Torres explains why he chose to invest in the island of freedom.
Eleuthera, to me, reminds me a lot of New Orleans. The French Quarter, the Bywater, the Marigny. You know, Gregory Town, if you've ever been to New Orleans, right outside of the French Quarter, there's called a place Marigny and Bywater. Very similar Creole cottage, people hanging out on their porch, just a lot of culture.
The Cove at Gregory Town is scheduled to open in November. I'm Opal Roach, ZNS News.
In more news from the tourism industry, the government has launched an aggressive campaign to promote the family islands in its ongoing plan to boost arrivals. Toward this end, thousands of dollars have been pumped into a marketing program. Among the target areas, Asia and Latin America. Tourism Minister the Honorable Obi Wilshcombe says the marketing strategy takes advantage of the World Wide Web, and they want to ensure that properties have the right branding. Minister Wilshcombe's comments came as he toured one of the newest projects on the market, the $30 million Cove development in Gregory Town. But while they partner with investors in making the islands attractive, Mr. Wilshcombe says they have to address a long-standing issue.
One of the great difficulties we're having is connectivity. How do we cause for the connection? We want airlines to arrive in Nassau or Grand Bahama and serve as a hub and then distribute the visitors to the various islands. That's what we're working on, because they're coming, but how do they get to the islands? And then the cost restraint. So we have to make sure we lower the cost. We put the infrastructure in place and allow for visitors to come on. Because most visitors we find from Europe and Asia in particular prefer these type resorts. And the Latin American market wants to discover the Bahamas. And so we're going to provide that opportunity by working with our national airline, first and foremost. That's our friendly carrier, the Bahamas Air, and then we're working with other airlines that are now offering new services to the Bahamas.
Mr. Wilshcombe says upgrading the North Eleuthera Airport is another factor which directly impacts the arrivals potential of the island.
The number of visitors coming to North Eleuthera is around 150, 200,000. But if we can get it to about 500 to 600,000 annually, that's what we want, because then it requires us to ensure that Eleuthera has this number, Bimini has the next number, and then sooner rather than later you'll see us around the 7 million mark, and also the spend, because we're working on that spend. Get the number up, the money that they're spending in on our country. We want to get it from about $2 billion to around $3-4 billion. That helps us in our further development of the country.
Well, we want you to keep those Family Islands news stories coming. Just drop us a line at finews@znsbahamas.com.